who best to talk to but 15-year-old New Hampshire political reporter Quinn Mitchell. He says he's been to over 100 presidential events and has met more than 35 candidates. Quinn, good morning to you. I wonder what you make of all that has taken place over the last, 12 hours. Are you surprised that Trump won by so much tonight?
I mean, not really. I think if there's one key takeaway is that Trump is most likely going to win the GOP nomination. I think looking to New Hampshire, I think this is about the only state where it's going to give a Trump alternative a shot to win this. But I think what's clear to me is that Trump's lead is almost insurmountable at this point.
You might very well be right. I mean, DeSantis came in second place in Iowa. I mean, you've hit him with some pretty hard questions before and alleged that his security has treated you very poorly at rallies. He's going to be in New Hampshire tomorrow. I'm wondering, will you be at his events?
If my mom will drive me, that's what it's going to be dependent on. If my mom can drive me, we'll have to see. We'll see tomorrow.
All right, Mom. Well, give him a ride. I wonder if you actually go or not. What do people in New Hampshire, I do wonder, think of not only Trump, but also DeSantis?
Well, Trump can come in and do these fly-in, fly-out rallies. He can buck New Hampshire traditions. He can buck the norms. But Donald Trump is his own game. I mean, when I go to these rallies, I see this intense desire for community play out, the desire to feel need, wanted, and loved. And I mean, there's always going to be 40 to 50% of Trump voters. There's always going to be 40 to 50% of his voters who would go to hell and back with him. And I've seen his strong charisma play out, and it certainly engenders the belief that he'd do the same for them. But this perspective, it's really only something you get at a rally, and it's such an intense connection. I think you mentioned DeSantis. He's pretty much dead in the water here. I don't see a path to the nomination for him. I mean, looking at this, DeSantis got 21% in Iowa. I mean, this is a state where he has banked his nomination on. He put all of his resources there. He spent so much money. He had all these endorsements. He landed 30 points behind Trump. He's dead in the water in New Hampshire. He blew his shot here in the summer. He's 7% in South Carolina. I don't really see a path for him here. I think Nikki Haley most likely have a strong showing here, but we'll have to see how that pans out. And most of that's probably dependent on if she'll take questions or not.
Well, let's talk about Nikki Haley, because she did come in a close third tonight, but a distant third, of course, to Donald Trump. You've been to her rallies before, and you say that her staff tries to shield her from tough questions. Do you think that has anything to do with her performance tonight in Iowa?
No, I mean, New Hampshire, I feel like she's going to do better in New Hampshire. I mean, this sort of shielding is only obvious if you're directly at her events and you're seeing her in person. She has such a great PR team. In Iowa, DeSantis is going to do well in Iowa. This is a much more conservative state. Haley is going to do well in New Hampshire. It's independent-minded and it's more moderate. But I don't think it was necessarily a surprise for me that Haley placed in third. I've been observing DeSantis over the past couple of weeks, and he's a better candidate than he used to be. I think if the DeSantis I've been seeing the past couple of weeks was the DeSantis I saw in June and July, he'd be in a way better spot now.
Quinn Mitchell, nice job, number one. And number two, good job staying so engaged in all that's happening in the world. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.